All right, this is going to be a review for The Gambler, 1974, starring James Caan, Paramount Pictures. Really, the movie asks the question, what drives someone to risk everything, even when they know they'll lose? Stars Axel Freed, literature professor, addicted to gambling. And throughout the movie, you begin to find out why he is, and it's not even about winning. He's just addicted to danger and the thrill that he could lose. It's kind of like the movie Uncut Gems a little bit. Definitely that this influenced that, I would probably say. I think this is better than that though, but starts out with the movie, he loses $44,000, which is equivalent today roughly $270,000 in a single night, plunging him into debt with dangerous bookies tied to the mafia. In fact, it has the mob boss that's in Goodfellas in this. I think his last name's Sorvino. Good actor. And as he says in the movie, he never even gambles because he's seen what it does to people. And then he's scrambling to pay it off. He borrows from his mother, basically like the whole amount. And then, of course, like an idiot, he then I think puts $15K on 3 different games, and then he goes to Vegas to use the $44K he just won. And this is all spoilers, of course. The movie came out a long time ago, but and then he goes to Vegas and he actually wins big in Vegas, does really well, thinks he won on the 3 games. And then he comes back home and he's relaxing with his girlfriend, and then the bookie shows up to his house and he's like, "Where's the money?" And he's like, "What do you mean? You owe me money." And he's like, "No, you lost on all 3 games." So then he basically has like no money to pay off the $44K, which he still owes. And then this leads to him oh yeah, and then he takes the money he won from Vegas, which was like $50K, and he puts it all on a Lakers game, and then they barely lose by like 1 or 2 points. So now he has absolutely nothing, and he owes the $44K. And this leads to him trying to get the money from his grandfather, who's this really rich tycoon. And who's this really rich Jewish tycoon. This movie's very Jewish in some ways. I mean, you know, James Caan is Jewish, and his grandfather is this really rich. I think it's he is. I think he had a chain of furniture stores, and his grandfather basically came from nothing, and then he was able to, you know, open 1 store, and then 2, and then 3. I really like the scene when James Caan is talking about his grandfather and his rise to power. And James Caan even is like a respected literature professor at I think it's New York City College, and but he just gambles away all of his money, and in the end he's able to finally save himself because he's able to get one of his young students who's a basketball player to not throw the game, because they actually win, but it's just you have to win under 7 points, I think it is, or you can't win by more than 7 points. They win by like 6. And this guy is able to kind of stretch out the end of the game so that they don't score anymore, and he's just dribbling. And then that's able to cancel his debts. That's it. Paul Sorvino who's obviously, you know, supposed to be kind of like the Italian mob, is in this a lot, and he's very happy, and he doesn't gamble like he said, and then he wants to go party with James Caan in the end, and James Caan doesn't really want to, because in the end he's just an incredibly unhappy man who, even when he's up, he's down, right? And his addiction drives him to riskier bets, not to win, but to chase the juice of danger. The story spirals into a psychological thriller, exploring his self-destructive impulse. Yeah, that's what he explains to Paul Sorvino. There's also other actors in this. There's a lot of different actors you've seen. Really good timepiece. Really feels like the 70s. You know, whatever that felt like. But, like, he's got this great car. It's like a late 60s Mustang convertible. You know, he's got this really hot girlfriend. But none of it matters to him. I mean, he's doing pretty good in life, but it doesn't matter to him. He's just incredibly unhappy. And like he explains to Paul Sorvino, he's like, I could have put the bets on things I know would have won, and I would have won and made money. And he's like, well, why didn't you? He's like, you idiot. And he's like, yeah, but you don't understand. He's like, then there wouldn't have been any juice. By that he means danger. So it's gritty, tense, unnerving. And then the end of the movie is pretty dark because he wins, and the guy's even like, you know, we may use you again, and he's like, no, that guy won't do it again. And then what does he say to him? He's like once she's broken, once she's not, like Paul Sorvino says something like this, like once she's not a virgin anymore, then she's a slut. So he's like, now we have that guy, and he can keep rigging basketball games for us. And he's like, and he's really good, and he's got another year in college, and then maybe he'll go to the pros. So they kind of have their hook in him, but yeah, and then in the end, he like wanders his way into like a black part of the neighborhood, and basically he starts picking fights with people so that maybe he can be killed, or it's just the danger, I guess. You know, maybe he'll live, maybe he won't. And then in the end, this pimp cuts his face, and then the movie just ends with him looking in the mirror, and he's got this giant cut in his face. Yeah, really good movie. I looked at the director. I didn't see anything else I've seen from him. I know back then it was a pretty popular movie, but they did remake this with Marky Mark. I don't know. I heard it wasn't that good. I don't have really an interest in watching it. I mean, compare him to James Caan. It's like, I'd rather watch James Caan any day. Any day of the week. They had the core themes of addiction and self-destruction. Axel isn't gambling to win, he bets to lose. Craving the rush of risk. The film portrays gambling as a metaphor for existential dread and nihilism, with Axel's addiction reflecting a deeper need to confront life's chaos. Axel's a literature professor, quotes Dostoevsky, Thoreau, E. Cummings, tying his gambling to a romanticized quest for meaning in the world without heroes. His lectures on George Washington avoiding risks contrasts his own reckless life, emphasizing his rejection of safety for all or nothing stakes. Yeah. That's an interesting part when he talks about this book written about George Washington. Axel's fascination with his grandfather's rags to riches story. He's a self-made millionaire. Reflects a crisis of masculinity in the 1970s where traditional heroism feels obsolete. His gambling is a warped way to test himself in a modern world lacking clear challenges. So it's like, yeah, kind of in the vein of Uncut Gems. Wolf of Wall Street a little bit. Some ways it kind of does feel like a Scorsese movie. Do me a favor and smash that like button. It'd be great. It really helps the channel. But I mean, I definitely recommend the movie. It's not that long. I think it's like an hour, 50 minutes. And I thought it just flew by. I mean, it's really well structured too. Like the opening with him losing all the money. In the middle, he's kind of in Vegas, and you think he's up, but he's not. You know, classic 3-act structure where at the end of the second act, a tragedy happens, which is that he thought he was up, but he's not. And then, and then he goes even lower because he bets on the Lakers game. I think for $50,000. And he just almost wins. He almost wins, but he doesn't. And he does, and he even admitted he doesn't even really follow basketball or like basketball. So, it's like he's betting on stuff he doesn't even know anything about. The screenplay by James Toback. Toback's script is a philosophical yet grounded, weaving literary references into realistic dialogue. Critics like Roger Ebert praised its evolution from character study to thriller, though some, like another Vincent Canby, found the dialogue occasionally disabling or pretentious. The music's by Jerry Fiddling. The score enhances the film's tension, blending jazz and orchestral elements to mirror Axel's spiraling chaos. Holds an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. Roger Ebert gave it 4 stars. Perceptive and remarkably placed drama. I don't know. I'd probably give it 3.5 out of 4. I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't really have many negatives about it, but yeah, I'd probably give it 3.5. It's really good. The LA Times liked it, called it cool, hard, perfectly cut gem. It's considered a cult classic. A movie called Mississippi Grind was influenced by it. Maybe I'll try and check that out. I think that came out a while ago. Yeah, 2014 remake with Mark Wahlberg was widely panned for lack of original depth. Yeah, I just heard it wasn't good. But until now, I've never seen the original, so... But yeah, I definitely recommend it, especially if you're a James Caan fan of movies in the 70s. And the ending is really kind of, it shows exactly who he is. And he's just a man that's just in search for danger, I'd say. And he can never be happy even when he's up. It doesn't matter. Even when he has a beautiful girlfriend and a good job, doesn't matter. He's just searching for danger, and that's the juice. So, but yeah, that's about it. I'll see you next time.